Hi guys, so in this video I want to talk about how to structure your meal plan to make it as simple as possible to follow, but while also creating balance. We find a lot of people struggle with the nutrition side of getting in shape, and they tend to fall in one of two camps. Either they feel they need to go so hardcore, be super clean, and they go into really low carb, shake diets, fasting, something that they feel is like, okay, this is a kickstart. And while they may get initial weight loss, they tend to find they crash and burn relatively quickly, and then tend to find that they struggle to get back on the wagon, or it becomes the start on Monday, or they fall into every cookie along the way. On the other side of that spectrum, we get the people that are, if it fits your macros, bro. And they often think, how many Pop-Tarts can they fit into this plan? Now, while on paper saying, I can get in shape eating McDonald's or Pop-Tarts sounds fantastic, in practice, it's a really horrible way to diet because you spend most of the time incredibly hungry because the actual food volume goes down. So we need to find somewhere between the balance of the two, and how much you sway towards one end or the other end entirely depends on sort of where you are in your experience when it comes to tracking your intake and dieting in general. The more beginner you are, the more of a stricter meal plan approach that I encourage. Early on, a lot of people don't have a knowledge of what is in their food. So they end up tracking their food incorrectly, they miss things, they forget things, they don't know how to track things when they go out, they haven't got a good eye for portion control. And in turn, these are the people that end up saying, I'm only eating 1,500 calories and not losing weight. And the answer there is, you're not only eating 1,500 calories. There's underestimations in this food diary. So this person should go down towards the more simple approach. With that simple approach, it doesn't mean that it has to be bland, boring foods, but we need to take into account a few things. Number one is food volume. The more food volume we can create in a plan, the less hungry we're going to be. Number two is nutrient density. We should be calorically deficient within a diet, but never nutrient deficient. Can we get nutrients to make us feel good, perform at our best, sleep well, recover well, and just feel as good as we look throughout this process? It's much easier to stick to a diet if we've got those nutrient density in. But also find a way of adding in that little bit that's just, that keeps you sane, that keeps you going through the diet and not make it feel like it's an endless chore that you can't wait to get off. So how do we do this? We find our caloric target. And you can find a million ways of doing this. Any website now will show you what your ideal caloric target is. And all of them have their pros and cons, and it doesn't really matter. It just matters that you're going to get started. From there, I would set a protein goal. The protein is really important to keep you satiated, as well as help build muscle and all various other things. There's a higher thermic effect, so you burn more calories throughout this process. But once you've got that, then you've got to look at your carbs and fats. Now, there's a minimum level of fats necessary for hormonal production, but carbohydrates are going to fuel performance. But realistically, if you're new to this, whatever you prefer, do you prefer higher carbs? Do you prefer higher fats? Whatever is your preference, what do you not want to give up? And then I'll come up with a relatively strict structure of where your meal time is going to be, what that works around your diary, that works around your life. Don't fit meal timings into a place where it just doesn't work for you. And from there, I would come up with a routine that takes probably 3/4 of your calories in a set structure. So at the start of my recent diet, and I'll put the photos up of what the actual result was here, I started off with shake in the morning because it was easy. I'm up taking clients at 7 a.m. So I needed something, bang, down the hatch, gone. Had 2 very nutrient dense mixed meals, which are going to be protein, good amount of vegetables, good amount of carbs, and a little bit of fats. Then I had a shake with oats in the evening, and then I had about 300 to 500 calories left over. And within those 300 to 500 calories left over, I fitted in, I had option A, option B, or option C of things that I enjoyed. In this case was a bagel with smoked salmon, or it was a frozen yogurt, or it was a pineapple bun, a delicacy here in Hong Kong, which is really fucking good. So now I had the structure here, but I also had that little bit of variety of which of these 3 options am I going to use to fit in my calories based on my preference for the day. And because of that, I found this very easy to follow. As the diet progresses, and maybe you don't have that same level of liberty, I urge you to keep the diet mega simple. When you're dieting, look for things, find options that are really easy, that become your emergency options. So if you run out the house and you forget your prep food, or you forgot to prep food, you've just got tired, and we all do it, we all forget, this shouldn't be the time to end your diet saying, right, I have not prepped, fuck it, start on Monday. This is the time now to sort of like look at what we've got around you, know your surroundings. Marks and Spencer's here in Hong Kong and in the UK, I can get packet chicken. A lot of my diet ended up with packet chicken, 3% fat bacon medallions, oats and whey protein. Why? Because I could cook them within 5 minutes. A lot of people embark on a diet wanting tons and tons of recipes. And while like it's great in theory to have all these options for diets and making it really extravagant, can you keep this up and make it worth your lifestyle? If you want to find a diet that allows you to have a little bit of structure, make it easy for you to follow, but at the same time have that bit of flexibility, you need to find a structure that is easy and replicable that you can do even on your most stressed and busy days, and then allow that 5-10% to fit in something you enjoy. So I will put up on the other side here that a couple of examples of my food diary, and you will start to see here how simple it actually looks. And from there, if I want to add in a little bit of something, all I have to do is just adjust that day and keep going with it that way. So hopefully this helps, gives you a few ideas. It doesn't need to be super bro foods, but at the same time, if you're trying to get away with being bro foods all the time, it's not going to work. And so you need to find a middle ground. Where is that balance for you that's going to keep you full, satiated, nutrient sufficient, and allow you that little bit of flexibility to keep you sane in a diet?